All right, man. So I don't know. I don't even know where to start with this game. But it is a win. The jersey is on. It's a win. All right. Listen, that's 3 wins in a row for this team. Okay. So I'm not one who's gonna ever argue with a win. I'm not one who will ever, sit here and be like, that's a bad win. There is no such thing as a bad win. But holy shit, this game was like the epitome of an ugly win. But you could also, was it an ugly win or was it like a fucking awesome win? Because look at the way they came back in this game and won the fucking game. So let's not discount that, all right? Even though it was basically almost 60 minutes of like the worst football you would ever see, they did get the win. So where to start here? Like I said, it's a win. That's a great thing. Ugly win. But like I said, also a great win because they had 24 seconds left in this game. And, they did what they had to do to get down the field and get that field goal. So you got to give them major credit with that. But it's crazy because, Wilson's having this, fucking shitty game. And, but he did make 2 really nice throws in that last 24 seconds to get them down the field. And he got them up to the line of scrimmage this time and got that ball spiked with 1 second left. So that was pretty dramatic. Listen, he learned from his mistake, right? When he fucked that up in the other game. So, like I said, to me, it's a good win because it is a win. And like I said, they really fucking pulled it out of the hat to come down the field and get that field goal. It's unbelievable that the Giants missed that field goal to allow us the chance to tie it with a field goal. Because that was a chip shot. So there's arguments about that. Like, should the Giants have gone for it on 4th and 1? I think the Giants did the right thing. I would have went for the points myself, but you don't know in that situation, Like I always say, man, that field goal is never guaranteed. What else here? All right. So if you remember, if you watched my draft videos going back to when it was the draft when the Jets had that epic draft, when they had Gardner and Garrett Wilson, that draft, right? The epic draft. I did a pre-draft video. And in that video, I was very high on Thibodeau in that video. And I said, if Gardner wasn't there at 4, I said, and Thibodeau was, I said you had to take Thibodeau. And in my opinion, Thibodeau really hasn't shown too much until, go figure, today, when the fucking guy has like a career game today against the Jets. So, because Thibodeau had a game-wrecking showcase of just football play today on the field, man. That guy was like, he was like almost unstoppable today. Now, that leads me to Becton. What the fuck, man? I just saw Thibodeau was blowing by Becton like Becton was just unable to fucking move, quick enough to block this guy. I've been saying this about Becton now for a while, okay? He's too big, and because he's too big, to me, he is not agile enough to be a good tackle. I think I'm done with Becton. I think the team should be done with him. You see, like if you saw in the game with Thibodeau on a couple of plays, he's just running around Becton, man. Like, Becton is not agile enough to block people like that. which makes him a shitty fucking left tackle. All right. So what good are you as a tackle if you're gonna give up fucking sacks like that? Particularly the first sack, which was a strip sack, gave the Giants the ball in the beginning of the game. Just blew by Becton like he was fucking standing still. So between Becton's injury problem and his just, his unathleticism, like I've said it many times, I think he's too big to be agile. So I don't know what to make of Becton at this point, man. I would trade Becton. I swear to God, I would trade Becton, and you gotta get a blue chip, fucking athletic left tackle. He is not the fucking answer at left tackle. It just bothers me because this fucking guy, it's week after week, man. I'm seeing it. He's just not doing what he was drafted to do. What else? Okay, so they were coming off a bye, right? Usually teams are flat after byes. They go flat. So that's what made me kind of feel like this would be a tight game like this. I just didn't think they would play so, fucking bad. But they won. All right? So they avoided the bye, syndrome that teams get after byes. Penalties, okay? Holy shit. Another bad game with penalties. That shit has to be cleaned up, man. The worst penalty of this fucking game was at the end of the game when the Jets stopped the Giants in their own end zone, and the Giants were getting ready to punt the ball, and that fucking, I can't think of his name right now, but you know the fucking penalty I'm talking about. He fucking got, I think it was encroachment or something on a fucking punt. You can't do that, man. That gave the Giants the ball back, and then they killed another fucking 5 minutes on the clock, I think. Right? And then, they drove down the field fucking 50 yards after that penalty, or 40 yards, or whatever the fuck it was. You cannot have a fucking penalty like that. That was maybe the worst penalty I've ever seen in my fucking life. Okay? So the offensive line, right? Now, we've already talked about Becton. Listen, you got to play him because you don't got any fucking offensive line left at this point. I can't believe what happened with the center situation, and they went down to their third string center in this game. That's why you had the fumbled snap, which didn't surprise me. You're on your fucking third string center. The guy probably hasn't snapped a ball in who the fuck knows how long, and you throw him into a game. So shit like that's gonna happen. But they have to figure out a way to fix this offensive line problem. It is a major problem. Now it's an even bigger problem than it's ever been, because now you have, Vera Tuck is out for the season. Becton, to me, like I told you, he is what he is. Now you have a center issue. I don't know how bad these guys' injuries are, but now you have a center problem. You're not going to be able to win games with no offensive line. And it's not like, and I've said this, it's not like Joe Douglas is not trying to build a good line for this team. He's been trying to build a good line, I think, since he came in as the GM. It's got to be the priority of this fucking team moving forward, man. It's got to become the priority now. You need, I don't know if you got to just maybe, get a couple of people before the trade deadline, or some free agents, or the draft. You got to fucking Listen, man, I would even trade up for a blue chip left tackle at this point. Don't rely on Becton as the left tackle, as the franchise left tackle. That's all I'm saying. Let's talk about some good stuff. Talk about my fucking guy, Garrett Wilson. Another fucking spectacular catch on the sideline. They even reviewed it, and it was still good. I knew it was good when I saw it. His feet were in. I mean, like, tiptoes were in when he caught that ball. That dude is just fucking amazing. I love him. And he had another big catch in that last 24 seconds of the game. He had that first catch, right? So he's, Garrett Wilson to me is just, he is the bright spot of this team. And Hall too. I mean, Hall, I think they should have, gave the ball to Hall more. Let's see what else. So, I mean, not much more to say here. Listen, like I said, it was a win. You got to love that. You got to love the fact that they're 4-3 now. Okay. And whether you want to say it was an ugly win, you could easily say this was an ugly win. But again, to me, it was also a great win because, listen, man, they lost this game. This game was fucking over, man. And they pulled it out, got it to overtime, and won the game. So you have to look at that as a very, very good thing because let me tell you something. If being a Jet fan for as long as I've been a Jet fan, these are games the Jets never won. Okay, so you have this game. You had the Buffalo game in the beginning of the season. You had the Eagle game. You had the last season. You had the Brown. Remember the Browns miracle game? I mean, all games that the Jets never used to win. So it's like the nucleus is there. It's building. They got to fix the offensive line, man. If they can just fix this offensive line, I think they will just go to the level where they need to go to. Playoffs, I still think are alive for this team, but not playing like that, they need to just have a fucking good win, a dominant fucking good win. You know what I'm saying? The Eagle game was a very good win, but they just need to have like where they come out, like the Charger game coming up would be a perfect game for this team to just take a fucking another step and just show everybody, including themselves, that they really are a playoff contending team. And because if you can go out and beat the Chargers convincingly, because the Chargers, I think the Chargers are a better team than what their record says. The Chargers, I don't think, is a easy win at all if they even beat the Chargers. So the Charger game kind of scares me a little bit, but I'll put out a video. You know what? Maybe should I do it now? Should I predict the Charger game now? I'll put a video out on Thursday. Hopefully. So I'm trying to, do the post game, the night of. This is the night of, but this video will probably go out tomorrow, Monday. And I will try to do the other videos on Thursday. Monday, Thursday type of structure. If I can do that, that would be a good thing, right? Even though currently there are only 4 subscribers on the channel. It is a new channel though, and I appreciate the 4 subscribers that we have so far, right? But we will build. We will get this channel rolling. So I think that's it, man. I think that caps it. All in all, I thought it was, even though it was an ugly win, I thought it was a great win. because it was a win they needed to get, and they got it. End of story. 4-3. That's it, man. Like, what more can you ask for? Because a win is a win at the end of the day.